What is up, YouTube? It is Doc here, Docky Style Gaming, and I am back at it again with another GodFall video for you all today, where we are about to be taking a look at this very extensive list of patch notes. We have update 3.2.206, which is our Fire and Darkness expansion, Lightbringer update, and PS4 launch update. So without further ado, like I do with all of my update breakdowns, we're going to go over most of the important stuff and some of the other information like the bug fixes, which there are a lot that they go over. I'll be leaving that in the video description, but for the most part, we're going to go over everything that's talked about for the PlayStation 4 launch, Fire and Darkness expansion, Lightbringer update. We're going to go over matchmaking, Ascended Towers of Trials changes, ping systems, loot, just a lot. The Ailments 2.0, cosmetics, and so much more. Most of the stuff that I'm probably going to leave out of this is the bug fixes because there are a lot, and I'd probably be here for about an hour just going over bug fixes alone. So for the most part, I'm going to cover all the core stuff, and if there's anything else you want to check out, I will leave a link to the rest of the patch notes in the video description like I always do. So without wasting any more of y'all's time, let's actually get straight into this patch notes, or into these patch notes, I guess I should say. So it starts by saying, first, on behalf of Counterplay Games, I want to extend a thank you to all the fans of GodFall who have supported us since the launch back in November of 2020. Today's update represents the largest content update to the game since the initial launch in November. It includes the continuation of GodFall's story in Fire and Darkness and brand new game modes as part of the free Lightbringer update. Players will enjoy new loot to pursue, enhancements to the core game systems that will enable greater build variety, and the introduction of the PS4 allows for more players to experience GodFall. It then goes on to say, as we delve deeper into the second half of 2021, we will continue to strive for excellence so you can have a truly enjoyable experience. We appreciate and thank you for your continued feedback and support. We cannot wait to dive in and for you to enjoy all of this content. Sincerely, Keith Lee, CEO of Counterplay Games. So that's pretty much the gist of it when it comes to the introduction for their patch notes. Keith Lee always puts out a little paragraph talking about what's coming and the future of GodFall. But speaking of the future of GodFall, let's talk about all the stuff that's coming today, which is the PS4 launch, which says GodFalls Deluxe Edition and Ascension Edition are now available for purchase on the PS4 store, featuring cross-gen play allowing for PS4 and PS5 players to play cooperatively in both campaign and in-game content. And GodFall on PlayStation also includes a free upgrade from PS4 players once they transition to PS5. And then vice versa, PS5 players will also be able to play with PS4 players, which personally is a big deal. More players coming to the game is always a good thing, and with them already introducing PS4, and in my interview yesterday, they did say that they're looking at other consoles, so Xbox might be in the future as well. And with matchmaking coming in this update, being able to play with PlayStation players and potentially Xbox and PC players would be a killer move on GodFall's part. But now let's move on to the Fire and Darkness expansion, which says the Fire and Darkness content is only available for players with access to the expansion, but it then goes on to say continue the fight in the Fire Realm. The expansion introduces brand new realms for players to explore the Fire Realm, with new challenging enemies to fight and new bosses to overcome. And some of the listing points that they put on their patch notes said that of course we'll get access to the new realm, the Fire Realm. There'll be new story missions, new hunt missions, the whole new realm that you can explore as well, brand new enemy types, 5 new bosses, and more in-game related stuff tied to the Fire Realm as well. They said expansion players will also have access to Fire Realm content in the in-game. They say new Fire Realm Dreamstones, new Fire Realm enemies and bosses can now spawn in the Ascended Towers of Trials, Lightbringer can be played in the Fire Realm, and 30 new in-game earnable cosmetics for the expansion players. And also there's some brand new loot that you can only get in the Fire Realm. It says a powerful new amulet and charm that have double primary traits. So a lot of stuff coming with the Fire Realm update on its own, along with some brand new exclusive loot, which is always a good thing, especially some double primary amulets and charms. I will take that all day. Now, moving on to the next part of the updates, they talk about the Lightbringer update. They said the Lightbringer update content is available to all GodFall players for free. It says, fight back the darkness in a Lightbringer. An all-consuming darkness threatens to spread throughout Hyperion and choke the world of all light. Lightbringer is a new game mode for level 50 players to take on new challenges and collect new types of loot, cursed items, which can only be found in a Lightbringer missions. It then goes on to say that in a Lightbringer, earth, water, fire, and air realms have been corrupted by the Heart of Darkness, and in this mode, players will explore the darkness to defeat corrupted enemies and locate dark tears, manifestations of the Heart of Darkness in the realm that must be destroyed to release the Sanctum's light that has been sealed away within. You can escort Sanctum's lights back to amplifiers, a powerful weapon in the fight against the darkness, and eliminate the Heart of Darkness in an epic final battle. Now, I will have a video later going into a complete breakdown of the Lightbringer game mode so people can see how the mechanics work, because it's not like your normal Dreamstones or Ascended Towers of Trials where you're just fighting hordes of enemies. There are some mechanics to this game mode, which is nice, and I'm glad that there's now a new mechanically driven in-game mode. But again, I'll be breaking that all down in a separate video. So definitely stay tuned to the channel for that. Now, next in the patch notes, they went on to talk about matchmaking. Now, since matchmaking has come to GodFall, connect with up to 2 more additional players with the new matchmaking tab for the Ascended Towers of Trials and the new Lightbringer game mode. Along with matchmaking, there is also now a new ping system that has been added to enable better communications in multiplayer. It says use the ping to help coordinate on mission objectives and powerful enemies. And I'm fairly certain everybody knows what a ping system is, so there's no need to go into any more further detail with that. Now, some more things that are going to be coming to the Ascended Towers of Trials, now that we're about to be getting even stronger in GodFall. They said that primal items now have an increased drop chance. They have been doubled. There's also going to be new intense banes. This is a new type of bane that have been added to the Ascended Towers of Trials. These have stronger and more difficult effects, but higher loot bonuses. And now, when it comes to some of the bosses in the games, there will be Ascended and Exalted realm bosses that can now spawn in the Ascended Towers of Trials. Again, with our characters getting much stronger, it makes sense that some of the in-game modes are going to get a bit more difficult as well. Again, like I said in my prep video, you might want to start changing how your builds are, especially with some of the new cursed items coming to the game. Now, speaking of cursed items, the patch notes went into detail with all of it as well. It says cursed items are powerful new weapons and equipment that can only drop in a Lightbringer. It says cursed items have 1 or more curses which reduce the strength of the item, and replacing the secondary trait with negative traits. Cleansing the curse items will allow you to extract the curse as a resource. Curses can be used in Lightbringers to apply additional challenges in order to increase your rewards as well. It says curses can be cleansed from cursed items by completing specific objectives, which I've shown before in the Ascended Towers of Trials and in Dreamstones while using the cursed items. Each time a curse is removed, the item will become more powerful and the negative trait will turn positive. Once all of the curses are cleansed, the cursed items will become an awakened item and will be among the most powerful items you can obtain in GodFall. They said there's a total of 42 cursed items available in game right now, which also means technically there's a total of 42 awakened items, which again are the most powerful items in GodFall right now. And similar to the Lightbringer breakdown, if any of that was confusing, I will have a whole video talking just about cursed loot, going a bit more into detail on it, how to lift the curses, what the awakened items look like, and how strong some of these weapons and items can actually be. But again, that will be saved for a separate video as well. Now, this next topic is something that I am very hyped for. I've been hyped for a while since I got to sit down and do this interview with, and now that we get a official look at what everything's going to be, I can finally talk about Ailments 2.0 and what all of the different element effects do now. The patch notes go on to say that the element system has been revamped, improving the gameplay of elements and adding more variety to how you interact with the system. Now, when it comes to the elements, most of them all still have damage over time as well, which they all pretty much have had since base game, but each element does something different now. So now when it comes to bleed procs, it says it increases the damage taken by that target that it's applied to. When it comes to poison, it says targets gain a longer duration of damage over time. When it comes to the chill element, you actually slow down targets' movement and attack speed as well. When it comes to the shock element, it says it increases your breach damage taken by the target, and again also inflicts damage over time. Curse decreases the damage dealt to you by the target. And lastly, when it comes to the ignite element, it says the target gains a short duration of high intensity damage over time. Now, the patch notes also went into a bit more detail about how elements will actually be applied now. It says the element chance trait has been removed because the effect of applying elements are now guaranteed to apply the element within a specific attack performed, i.e. a shield throw inflicts elements. It says elements can now be applied to enemies multiple times, giving you the ability to apply multiple stacks of an element on an enemy at the same time for increased effects. Now, when it comes to talking about how strong your elements can be, it says the strength of the element stacks are now relative to the strength of the attacks you use to apply that element. High damage attacks will apply stronger element stacks with stronger effects and increased damage over time. Additionally, you can also gain element power traits to increase your effectiveness of elements you apply to enemies. You can gain element duration traits to increase the duration of the elements you apply to enemy. Both of these traits will increase damage over time dealt by the element. And lastly, when it comes to elements, there's also a new ability called consuming elements. It says some items will now allow you to consume elements from enemies. When you consume elements from an enemy, all element stacks are removed from the enemy, and any remaining damage from that element is dealt to the enemy instantaneously. So elements are definitely getting a major overhaul when it comes to how it's going to work in game for both weapons, Valorplates, augments, and so much more. Like I said in my interview, I feel like this is going to be a game changer in how players switch up and mess around with their builds in GodFall. And then stacking that with some of the new cursed items that also have brand new abilities and effects as well. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a game changer in my opinion for when it comes to builds and playing in GodFall. But moving on to the next topic, we're almost done, so bear with me, is the Valorplate cosmetics. It says there are 86 new Valorplate cosmetics that have been added to better customize your favorite Valorplates. Complete new challenges to earn cosmetics and show them off to your friends with the new matchmaking modes. Of course, everybody's going to want to flex their new Valorplate skin, so that's definitely the place to do it, is matchmaking. It says check the cosmetics section on the equipment tab to see what's been added and how to unlock them. It then goes on to say that there are currently 56 new in-game earnable cosmetics to all players, and then there's going to be 30 new in-game earnable cosmetics to GodFall players that have the Fire and Darkness expansion. So there's a lot of new skins to grind for, a lot of new skins to flex and show off. So definitely go check out one of your favorite Valorplates, go to your cosmetics tabs and see how to start unlocking some of those new skins. Now the last two bits of information actually come from the quality of life and balance changes. Now when it comes to some of the balance changes, I know some people might not be too happy, honestly kind of myself included, just because I am a Hintercall player and some of these changes are going to mess with my Hintercall builds, which there's going to be changes to Overhealth, Rampage, some items are being tweaked like Surety, Archon's Tier, and Mesa's Bandolore as well. So the banner I use for just about all my builds, the Lifestone I use for just about all my builds, and the Augment I use for just about all my builds technically are all being nerfed. It says the weak point damage has been reduced on Surety, the crit chance bonus has been reduced on the Archon's Tier, and the crit chance bonus has also been reduced. Both crit chance and crit damage has been reduced on the Mesa's Bandolore banner. manner. Now, they did say this is due to Ailment 2.0 changing stuff up because, again, like I said, it is going to be kind of a game changer type mechanic. So I guess we can only see how it's going to actually affect some of our builds, but seeing as those are 3 items I use on just about all my builds, that one hurts me a lot, especially that Rampage for my Hinterclaw build. As long as I can keep my Rampage up, I can keep my crit up, I can consistently not take damage. It's just, it's such a crucial build. But like I said, we'll have to see how Damage 2.0 actually affects everything overall. And then when it comes to overhealth, they said that the rate of overhealth drains now depends on how much overhealth you have. So the more overhealth you have, the quicker it drains. The less you have, the slower it drains. So again, we'll see how that works. They also said there's going to be some new traits in the game that slow down overhealth drain. But again, I'm going to wait to see how it is. But some of the balance changes are nerfs, if I'm being real. But now moving on to the quality of life stuff that I know a few people have been asking about. One of them was actually just confirmed in my dev interview yesterday, which is mission level scaling. They said story mode and hunt missions now scale to your level. So when you're exploring the realms or exploring or rerunning some of the boss hunts, the enemy levels will scale to you if you are in normal or hard difficulty. If you're on easy difficulty, it'll stay at the old recommended levels. But if you want it to play against enemies that are at your level, you want to be on normal or hard difficulty. Now, something else in the quality of life, they said that they have now expanded Explore the Realm. So now you can interact with multiple Twilight Springs, allowing you to keep going after different objectives in the open worlds in the game. Some more quality of life stuff that they added was the resistance on your stat screen. So you can see your resistance and if it's capped or not in your screen. There's going to be more detailed information about your loot with some item keywords. There's going to be Dreamstone sorting. They said enemy levels are now on all nameplates, no matter how high their level is, you'll be able to see what it is. They improved augment navigation, which is something I know a lot of people have been wanting as well. Every time you put on an augment, it kicks you all the way back. So now it'll let you stay on that screen. They also said they improved forge navigation, which now will allow the forge to remember what you had selected after upgrading, after you leave the upgrade screen, which is nice as well. And then also our vendor can now be moved, so you can place them around the map somewhere else if you don't want them there at all times. So that is pretty much update 3.2.206 in a nutshell. Again, there are a lot of bug fixes as well. So if you want to check those out, again, I will be leaving a link to the patch notes in the video description. You definitely probably are going to want to check out some of those bug fixes as well. Like they always do whenever they're community specific ones, they have them highlighted with these 2 cross swords. So you'll be able to see, in fact, if it's something that the community has wanted changed that the devs have went in and tweaked and fixed for you. But other than that, like I said, there are a lot of bug fixes to check out. Some that I think players might still want to check out, whether it be about scaling or how some of the weapon techniques are changed and things like that. Like I said, it's a lot to go into, and I don't want to make this an hour-long video as well. So again, I'll leave a link to it in the video description and you can check out all of the bug fixes. But for the most part, I gave you just about everything important with these new patch notes that are dropping today for the brand new Fire and Darkness expansion, Lightbringer update, and PlayStation 4's launch. So hopefully this is getting you excited and getting you somewhat prepped for when the expansion drops. Other than that, that's really all I got to say for this video. I will catch y'all all on today's stream because, again, like I always say, you know I'm going to be streaming when a new update or new expansion drops for anything. So I will catch y'all all on today's stream a little later on. I'll be answering some more questions and I'll be playing with some of the people in stream and from the Discord as well. So if you haven't joined the Discord, link to that is in the video description. I'll be letting y'all know when I'm going live on there before I post it anywhere else. So again, be sure to join the Discord, and again, with Matchmaking here and PS4 here, join the Discord and find some more players to play with as well. So other than that, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you all for watching like always. Cannot wait to get into this game. Cannot wait to play with a few of y'all as well. So I will catch you all on the next one. Be sure to leave a like if you liked the video. If you didn't, still leave a like. Other than that, I will catch y'all all on the next one. I'm out of here, guys. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the subs. Peace.